Give the stream like 10 seconds to start because I don't know exactly the moment it starts to archive. So, you ready? I'm actually not. I need to do some vocal warm ups. I'm gonna take
You
my
need to
headset off
do
for this.
vocal warm-ups. This is just like talking.
Well, yeah, but I want to make sure that I can like still enunciate and people understand what I'm saying. Because if I just talk like this, you can't really understand what I'm saying.
No, I'm not gonna do that, dude.
Well,
I'm
you
gonna
don't
be
have to, but
fucking
I'm going to.
unintelligible.
You don't have to, but I'm going to. Give me a sec. Okay. I didn't want to do that right in your
Nice.
ear. That might have been obnoxious.
No, that's fine.
All right. About
Doesn't
1 minute
matter.
mark. Let's start. Hello and welcome to this week's installment of Pod-Crust, crusty conversations for busty crustaceans. Today, as my co-host, I have with me my good friend Joey Weeboni, also known in the
Yeah.
Discord as Joey Uwu Weeboni. He is one of the moderators of my Discord and a pretty decently pretty decently sized measurement of time friend of mine. Say hello, Joey.
Howdy.
And today, like every other day, we have no real topics to talk about, so we're just gonna spit shit and see what happens. So, how have you been today, Joey?
I've been pretty well, in all honesty. How about you? Before we start,
We've currently started.
I know, but before we like jump right into
Alrighty,
it
boys, I'm
Oh
back. What did I miss?
God, you picked
all.
right as we start.
Yeah, I know. I got the thing on my phone saying you started. I was like, oh god.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, that's great.
Look, Pikachu,
Alright, so wait, hold up. What's this business with Pikachu being a bad DM? When did this happen?
I don't
I was
know.
never Dungeon Master.
Then what the hell? Why did you say what?
Okay, so
Does that
I
mean?
currently have like a Dungeons and Dragons starter set, right? It's never been used, not yet.
Okay.
Meant to, play with me and all that. But I had an entire idea of creating a giant map, right?
Yeah.
You had a Skyrim-inspired session planned
Wait,
out.
what? He did? What?
I'm
Oh no,
I'm
no, I
assuming.
never shared it with this.
I was just bullshitting that 100%.
An entire journal of it.
Right. Also, hello, Calico Cusnot. I'm going to say your name like that because I don't know how to
Call
pronounce
him
it.
What the hell? Just call him Pikachu.
That's not.
Baby boy. What do you mean?
I'm talking to someone in the chat.
Oh, okay. Alright, Mr. Interactive Streamer. Okay,
I'm sorry.
see how it is.
Alright, well, Pikachu, I'll have you co-host next week, alright? I already started with Joey.
Aw.
I introduced him. This is going in the archive. This is set in stone. Next time, plan your showers more appropriately.
I said I'd just sub for him, but I guess if he's not allowed back in, goddamn. I wasn't expecting that.
Well, it's set in stone now, I'm sorry.
Alright, fair enough. Do it.
We'll
Don't
get
worry.
you next time, Pikachu. While in the meantime, enjoy. I've given you back your cool boy rank. Please do not abuse
I
it.
noticed.
That's it.
Alright, Calico's just gonna listen to us while he plays Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy.
I'm not playing Getting Over, I'm playing Uno.
I'm
What? You're
talking
not.
about Calico. Pikachu, would you mind?
Oh, you're talking about, okay.
Now I'm talking
Alright.
to you.
Just do that. Just move him. Just move him. What do you do? You have the power.
I didn't want to be rude.
You didn't process.
I did not want to be rude.
Alright, fair enough.
So, continuing, or getting back to whatever the fuck we were talking about.
Right.
Yeah, just gonna listen to us while he's playing a different game. Understandable, that's what podcasts are for, more or less. I know originally, or not originally, but when people started making podcasts and sort of vlogs, the idea was that, oh, these people care about my life and my opinions, so they're just gonna listen to me while doing nothing else. And then a million people fell off fucking sleep.
Correct.
I
believe it.
Yeah, I think most people at some point have listened to a podcast or something to fill the air while they're doing something else.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, when I'm playing games like Skyrim or whatever, I'll just watch old episodes of Mystery Science Theater 3000. And
Wait,
I've,
Mr. What 3?
Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Oh.
Yeah. And I've done this so often that I've seen absolutely every single episode that has been uploaded to YouTube.
That's pretty epic, actually.
I should point out that these episodes are an hour and a half long of them riffing over movies.
What?
Have you never seen Mystery Science Theater 3000?
No, I have never.
Oh, I highly recommend it.
What kind of genre is it? Is it like one of those?
It's comedy. Basically, what it is Joel or Mike, depending on what season you're watching. That's semantics. The host, along with two robot companions, Tom Servo and Crow T Robot. They're just puppets. Basically, they just watch really old, really bad movies and joke over it. And the guy who created the show, Joel Hodgson.
So wait, is it like a PBS type show? Or
No,
is
it was
like
it was originally on Comedy
Nope.
Central back when they
it
were
was
still called the
actually a
Comedy Channel.
professional, like
Yeah,
professionally like produced?
yeah. They started back when Comedy Central was known as the Comedy Channel, but originally went
not
over to
the-
Sci-Fi.
Not the parody news channel that it is.
if
that
by
also just happens to have
if by parody
drama
news
and
channel
South
you
Park.
mean Tuck Frump, yes. That reminds me, what happened to Colbert? I remember there was a time when the Colbert Report was so fucking edgy and like very abrasive to the point where people were rallying saying like cancel Colbert, like trying to get his show
Yeah.
shut down. Then he gets moved to the Tonight Show, and now he's one of the most liberal people in the world. I'm wondering which side does he actually lie politically? Or does he even have a political opinion? Does he just like sell out to whoever pays the most? Like, oh, you want me to promote Republican stuff? Sure, I'll do that. You want me to promote liberal stuff? Sure, I'll do that. Just sign my checks. I mean, if that's the case, I can respect that to a point. I just can't
Thought he
respect the people
was-
that take his opinion seriously.
He was always left leaning, wasn't he?
Not on the Colbert Report. It was very right leaning.
Not remember that at all. I remember him being primarily parody news, and now that everyone takes parody news seriously, he's like
Just
hyper liberal.
news. Yeah. But no, on the Colbert Report, he was much more right leaning. Not like preaching
What
it.
I'm more impressed about, no. What I'm more impressed about most recently is the Jesse Smollett thing. Those guys are like going hard on it now.
yeah.
They're not defending him at all anymore. They're done with him. They're
Oh
like
yeah,
throwing him
no.
under the bus.
That's how the left do shit nowadays. They just use people. That's not to say the right doesn't either, but it's much more prevalent from liberal groups since technically the right has the Nazis have all the power nowadays. But whatever. Let's try and stay off of politics as much as possible, just because it can be kind of a drag to listen to.
Yeah.
Pikachu in the chat now asks, "How much do I hate the LGTB?" The LGTB. I do not know. I believe that stands for the
Lettuce, guava, tangerine,
bacon.
bananas, dude.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
I think
Got you. I thought we
banana
were
makes
making
more sense. The bacon.
I thought we were making a fruit salad here.
with
What the hell's
lettuce.
going on? Yeah. I mean, if you want to get technical, lettuce grows above ground.
That doesn't make it a fruit.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't. You know what constitutes a fruit? Is
Alright, what's a fruit?
actually no. I'm thinking of berries. I'm looking this up. I want to know.
Because tomato is in fact a fruit. It is not a vegetable because it
But
grows
that no.
above ground. Is a pumpkin a vegetable?
I'm looking this up.
No, it's a gourd. You're
I'm
retarded.
looking this.
Stop it.
I'm looking this up. Let's see.
If they grow below the surface, it's a vegetable. At
Okay,
least that's what I heard.
hold on. Botanically speaking, a fruit is a seed-bearing structure that develops from the ovary of a flowering plant, whereas vegetables are all other plant parts, such as roots, leaves, and stems. By those standards, seedy outgrowths,
Cabbage
such as
have
apples,
flowers.
squash, and yes, tomatoes, are all fruits, while roots such as beets, potatoes, and turnips, leaves such as spinach, kale, and lettuce, and stems such as celery and broccoli are vegetables.
Holy shit! Hold up. There are multiple species of fucking flowering cabbage.
Yeah, but it's not about like where it grows. Because then that would make
No. A general rule, right? If it has flowers, it has to grow above ground, right? It needs sunlight.
yes.
So therefore, it can be reasonably assumed that most things, right, solid 90% of things that grow above ground are going to be flowering.
Yeah, but that doesn't make them fruit. I
What
mean,
do you mean?
I grew above ground. Does that make me a fruit?
No, because you don't bear seeds.
Yes, I do. You want me to
No, you
jerk off
don't.
and prove it?
Those aren't seeds.
Yes, it is. It's
No, it's
seed.
not. It's fucking. It's liquid life, dude. Liquid
It
life
is
essence. That's not
seed.
seed. That's not seed.
Technically speaking,
No, it's not.
I plant the seed in the
No.
soil of the
To
womb,
to to
and
have a
from it
proper
grows.
no. To have a proper seed, you would have to have a fertilized egg, right? So you would have had to get a woman pregnant, right? First of all, and then you'd have to transfer the egg from the woman to the ground for you to be a fucking fruit.
Okay, so what you're saying is that we should stop considering gay people fruits, since they did not grow in the ground.
Correct. I agree.
Yeah, we're gonna get banned for talking about biology. Oh god.
Dude, fucking another thing about biology. Fuck it.
Well,
No, I'm
I
not gonna
think
go there.
he may have been referring to the one streamer that got banned for saying that there's only two genders.
I'm not gonna go there, dude.
Yeah, it's just it's a shame how all of the platforms, like social platforms we use, are very left leaning. It doesn't make it
What
a
is
very
no. It's not that they're left leaning. What is science anymore, right? There's these like
there
fringe
is
fucking.
science. It's just that people
There's
choose to
definitely science,
disregard
but
it.
yeah, and then they go out and say, "Oh, you darn Nazis, you science deniers, climate change." When in reality, climate change was based on a study that was like 1 degree Celsius between like 1880 or something in the current day.
I think you
And, like,
yourself
and
are
there's-
denying a lot of scientific evidence there.
oh, okay. What do you mean?
I mean, to just chalk up all the research that's going into how the climate has changed and how
But
the world has.
there isn't research gone into it. The only like measurable change in the climate, right, has been like 1.7 degrees Celsius since 1880. And to say that the United States is contributing a majority of that, right, is a complete lie.
No, yeah,
Complete
we're
and
not.
utter lie.
We're
right?
not the majority contributors to climate change or pollution.
We're definitely like top 5, you know.
Yeah, but
But
no,
being
the
top
majority.
5, we produce less than half the fucking shit that
Yeah,
China,
the
India, and
majority is
everywhere else
China.
does.
I mean, say what you will about climate change, pollution is something you cannot deny that is
No,
happening in an abundance.
even pollution is like such a small bit. The main fucking thing that people don't talk about is fucking
One in
methane. It's
what no
bullshit,
one
dude.
talks about is that 1 in 6 people die of pollution. I'll pull up the article that I read.
Probably third world countries, isn't it? Poor. It's like poor countries.
That's still 1 in 6 people dying in pollution.
That's
Dying
one in
of
six
pollution.
people. 1 in 6 people out of 7 billion, right? Understanding that easily.
No, that's
fucking
1
2
in
billion.
6.
No. That's understanding that 2 billion are basically immune to that. So that's you're already 2 of 6,
Immune.
right? Pretty much will not die of pollution, are basically immune to that, right? So that leaves the last like 3 or 4 million susceptible to it. So that's
You're-
not really fair because you have to single out the countries that actually have that as a problem.
You're okay, just by saying that some people are unaffected by a problem doesn't mean that the problem isn't.
Yes, but
a
it's not
thing.
fair to it's not fair to include the people immune to it in it.
Well, okay, let
Right,
me
if-
I have the thing open here. The report.
You can't look at it as the whole human population susceptible to pollution. You have to look at it as
But we all
undeveloped
are.
countries
If
versus
the
we're not.
entire world it becomes polluted and the
Some places have it better than others.
Yeah, but
right?
the fact that we're not
Pollution.
doing anything to slow it could result in the entire world
The
becoming
fact that-
polluted, the soil
but
and the air.
Us
would-
doing something about it will effectively do nothing. Because the primary fucking whatever the whole greenhouse gas bullshit. 90%, or no, it's not 90%. It's like 60% of all greenhouse gas like produced is methane. And I believe methane holds in heat in a fucking 10 times better than any like carbon emissions, anything that anyone else does, right? So the biggest like climate change contributor is people, it's life itself, right? It's every living thing on earth that produces methane.
Yeah, but even if the methane was harmless, it's still the fact that we're creating a large chemical imbalance in the world that did not exist before we created all this
It didn't
infrastructure.
exist. No. It didn't exist because populations were kept down.
Yeah.
This is the most life we've had on Earth since forever, right?
Yesterday.
Since yesterday, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. And I still
So the
hold
mo-
that overpopulation is the root of all of our problems.
It is. It is.
But you know,
But
you
there's
start
so
you
much
start
like
proposing stuff
humanitarianism.
like population control, and people start freaking out, which
I
is
don't
something
think
that
you need to
China
propose
used to do.
population. Well, they still do, don't they? They still have
Uh,
their 2-kid
I
rule.
heard talk about them rescinding that, which I think is a horrible idea for a country with over 1 billion people in it. There's only, to my knowledge, there's only 2 different countries in this world that have over 1 billion population. That's India and China.
in China.
Yeah. So your one country has a majority of the world's population in it. I think at that point you should reconsider how many people live in your borders. It's a hassle. It's creating a lot of
I think
problems.
the problem with it is that people have like got this humanitarian delusion that it's my responsibility to help everyone because I can, not because I want to, right?
Yeah.
The whole idea of charity is just thrown out the window. You're bigger than they are. You have to take care of them. You're responsible for them. It's like,
Yeah.
why? But they don't do anything.
Well, my problem with
Involving-
humanitarianism is that it's not really about humanity, it's about people. If you
Yeah.
like, a true humanitarian would try and improve all human life for everyone equally, even if it means, you know, making life shitty for a few specific people. Like, for instance, population control. To say for maybe 1 or 2 generations we kept the rule to 1 child per family, that would really shit on a lot of people that, you know, are that want to have a lot of kids, but fuck you.
Although nowadays in more developed countries, I believe people are having less and less children. People in underdeveloped countries are having more
Yeah,
and more
that's the
children.
problem. Because I mean, when you're poor and you have nothing, what is there besides sex?
Well, no, it's not that. It's that the children are able to help out with production, right? They're able
Yes,
to
yeah, on like
create
farms
more
and the like.
produce and that kind
Yeah.
of stuff without like.
But that's different. If
Cost.
you own a farm, you need a lot of children. But
No,
if
you
you're
don't.
just
You
like
can
in a-
use unskilled workers,
yeah, but what if
which
the
is
unskilled
primarily-
workers start having a lot of children
then those unskilled workers can get jobs. Like
working
that's
on
another.
farms?
That's the fucking.
This
That's
is
the main problem.
this is
with
cutting
losing
out the
weight,
middlemen,
too.
though.
Holy shit.
Instead of hiring the unskilled workers to work on your farm and they'll have a shit ton of children, how about you just have a shit ton of children and then you have better control over them?
I guess you're right.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, you're also unfairly barring people from work.
This whole debacle of focusing solely on race is the dumbest thing ever. It is the most racist shit I've ever heard.
Yes, it is.
Like, all this talk about, I was like, oh, what? The dumbest thing I
Are we
saw
on politics?
in a
by the
while.
way?
This isn't
Well, is this political?
politics. This is just social politics, I suppose.
Alright, fair enough.
And besides, we can get off this as
Identitarianism?
soon as we got onto it. But I did want to say the dumbest article I read a while back was where is Hispanic people's Black Panther? One, Black Panther was the most what's the word? It starts with a P. Not patriotic, but
What you're looking for
papaya.
here?
Very
Pretentious?
no, not pretentious, but
I mean, I think it won
patronizing.
best-
It was
Oh.
one of the most patronizing movies I've ever seen in my life.
It
the-
won Best Picture and
The
Best
idea
something
of
else.
like, oh yes, it's this highly advanced group of black people from Africa. They're so much better than everyone else. They're so much smarter than Whitey. They're a lot richer than Whitey, and they have much better technology than Whitey. and they're just a lot better than Whitey. And in order to prove that the black people are better than Whitey, we had to create a fictional fucking city or a fictional universe for them to exist in. But no, black people are a lot better. And the fact that people are treating it like it's some testament to how superior black people are to white people just by the color of their skin. And personally, I think Black Panther is just very patronizing to black people, saying like, "Oh yes, you're just as good as the white heroes. Here's the black hero. Go and buy all of the black hero action figures and posters. Yes, black people, give us your money so that you can be represented by the black hero." Like, it's just like, fuck you. Why can't black people like any of the other heroes? And furthermore, why can't they be, an inspiring figure? Why do you need the black hero? Why do you need all this representation? If you are basing the value of your life and everyone else the same color skin as you off of a fictional character, you need to either reconsider how much you value the color of your skin or reconsider your fucking life in general. Like, I don't. If I woke up tomorrow and there were no white people in Hollywood, no white people in films, TV, nothing, it was all blacks, my first thought wouldn't be, why are there no white people? My first thought would be, are they good actors?
Is this a good story? Can I get immersed in the
Yeah.
plot? Is there substance here?
I don't watch movies with white people. I didn't watch John Wick thinking, oh, I can relate to him because he's white. I think, Jesus Christ, he just stabbed that guy in the eye with a pencil!
Hell yeah.
Call us the Crust Bucket. No, because that's an actual song, and I don't want to get in trouble with people. Yeah, if you look up Bucket Crust on YouTube, the first thing that's going to come up is a song called Crust Bucket. And I hope that one day that won't be the case. But I'm a long ways off.
Alright, so going on to more interesting topics.
Please.
If I were to make a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, right, in my way, right, and you know how I play Dungeons
Very,
and Dragons.
very
I take it very
memey.
seriously. Yes, it's hilarious.
Are you asking if I would play it?
How many people do you think would play it, and what would I need to do with it to play it forever?
You could get a lot of your friends in it, but I don't know if I'd want to play it, just because, I mean, I'm not one of those people that just like take all my roles seriously and try and get into character, but I do like to get immersed and take the game a little bit seriously. Like, I want my characters to live, I want them to interact with the world, because I'm trying to role play in my role playing game.
Well, yeah,
So
that makes
I don't
sense.
know if I'd be down for your Mimi bullshit, but
My Mimi bullshit. What do you mean?
what do I mean? Like, look at the two characters you had in the session.
I definitely make joke roles, right? I don't role play. I don't really make joke roles, actually. A lot of what I've done has actually been like towards our goal. I've just made like
Pardon me.
all the dialogue of my characters has been stupid as shit.
Yeah,
I will
it's
not
that stuff. I don't know how that would
argue
translate
that.
to you DMing.
Well, the DMing part is going to be completely different because I'm definitely going to be a more goal-oriented fucking DM, but like obviously I'm going to be throwing things at you that you wouldn't be expecting. There is
Like
100% going to be the fucking grandma ambush, right? And then right immediately after that, there's going to be the real grandma that you guys are going to like shank to death just because it happened in the last session.
Fantastic.
Right? That's the kind of shit that I would plan.
Getting
But,
off
like,
that and back to movies right quick, because I saw
Oh,
this line
okay.
that, well, we can get back to this later, but because I saw what Muffin said and this tickled me a bit. He says, I don't watch movies because I support white power. I watch movies because I want to learn to kill people. I mean, I enjoy the movie. And that combined with us talking about memes made me think of something horrible.
I just think Black Panther was made in I don't know if it's bad taste, but like it came just after The Equalizer.
It wasn't in bad
That one was a good
taste.
movie. That was a good movie, and it was like completely brushed over.
Yeah, I don't think it was in bad taste. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm a white, straight white fascist male, but I just
Too.
see the whole thing of Wakanda as very patronizing to black people, because it's saying like, oh yeah, here's the black one for you
Here's
blacks
what could
to
have been.
enjoy.
Here's what could
Yeah,
have
here's
been.
what could have been. You poor black people. If only a magical rock fell from the sky. Like I hate that so much.
Yeah.
Because it devalues, black people.
Hard
What
work.
they
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have to work hard to live in
Their
Africa. That
progress.
is
Yeah. All that shit.
holy shit. It was just a
Very
luck of the draw.
underdeveloped. Yeah.
But getting back to movies, because we were talking about memes, and it occurred to me something horrible. The new Aladdin movie coming out. We can all agree
Will
that looks absolutely dog shit and will in no way be as good as the original.
I don't
However,
know why they're going live action. That doesn't make
however,
any sense to me. Why
yeah,
the fuck?
it's bad. It's just a bad idea. I guess the reason is to try and because I don't want to associate it with the original animated Aladdin movie, and because if they did the animated thing, if they did it 2D
At that
drawn,
point,
then
why aren't they doing Aladdin again
yeah,
at all?
like why am I watching this? I'll just go watch the original with Robin Williams' amazing
Just
performance.
remaster it, re-release it. Yeah.
Yeah, but getting off that, so seeing as how Robin Williams made a lot of pop culture references equivalent for the time when he did the role, I fear that Will Smith as the genie is going to be referencing memes in place of pop culture references.
He's gonna say, that's hot, just once in the film. It's gonna be
Maybe.
hilarious when he does.
I just mean like when Jafar asks for like ultimate power or whatever, and Genie's just like turns to Aladdin, he'll just say, "I'm sorry, Aladdin, but I had to do it to him."
Oh my god.
Shit like that. If I hear one meme or see one meme, I'm just exiting the theater. Actually, that's a lie. That implies that I'm actually going to see the movie in theaters. I'm not going to watch
say
it.
that. He's gonna say that, and every 10-year-old in the theater is gonna start flossing.
Yeah. Sorry if you're trying to sleep through the stream, but wake up call. This is going to be a horrible movie. Stay tuned. God.
That's fucking great, dude. Holy
no,
shit,
it's
I
not.
forgot about
That's
that.
horrible.
I forgot about that. Someone's gonna be in the back of the theater. They brought their phone not to record the movie, but to record everyone's reaction.
You don't know. You know what the worst part was?
What?
I went and saw Wreck-It Ralph 2 in the theater with my brother.
Oh, you poor
That
boy.
movie was so bad. I could go on a tangent about it for an hour. That's next week's podcast. It's gonna be the fuck Wreck-It Ralph 2 tangent. But for now, in the movie, there's a point where they're talking to the head lady, the head algorithm of not YouTube. I'm gonna call it YouTube. And the head algorithm of YouTube is like, okay, what can we do to get Ralph famous? And this like the second like her toady or whatever is looking up like, oh, what's popular, what's trending, and mentioned
pedophilia.
No.
That's trending now on YouTube. Hell yeah.
Mentioned gameplay videos, let's plays, and in it they used footage of Fortnite. And the moment that came on screen, I heard a kid like 2 rows back go, "Fortnite!" And I wanted to scream.
Just started flossing.
Oh god, I know for a fact he was back there dabbing, and I just wanted to die.
Back there doing the orange justice, dude.
Now, I know what you're gonna say, like, oh, well, if you don't want stupid fucking kids around you, why go watch a stupid fucking kids movie? Because my brother wanted to see it, and I had nothing else to do.
And Wreck-It Ralph 1 was a pretty solid movie.
It was a really good movie. I dare say the last good movie Pixar has made.
What? It wasn't Pixar, it was Disney Flat.
Really? I'm looking this up.
We looked this up the other night.
I'm doing it again!
Pixar.
I'm looking it again. I'm looking at it again.
It is Disney only.
Shut up. Wikipedia. Right. Here we go. Alright, so produced by Walt Disney Animation Studios. Oh, you're right. Disney. Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah, we went over this the last time.
Okay, wait, just to double check. So Walt Disney Animation Studios. I'll look at Toy Story and see.
That's Pixar.
Yeah, Pixar Animation. You're right. It was just by Disney. Never mind. That's fucking bizarre.
Yeah, it's probably one of Disney's best movies, best modern movies anyway.
Yeah, it was a good movie. Wreck-It Ralph 2 was dog shit on a fucking stupid, snotty, stupid platter. It was
didn't
I.
really have a story, did it?
It was
just
so
kind of.
bad that
would
I
have been better.
cannot formulate the
I think
words to
I
describe
think
it.
it would have been better as like a TV adaptation. I don't think it should have been.
God, no. I hate all fucking Disney TV show movie
Well, yeah,
adaptations.
but the plot that it introduced
Maybe.
would
Yeah,
have done
because they would have
better
had
in
more
episodic,
time.
like
Yes.
yes.
Because the idea of having these characters explore the internet is something very well suited to a TV because you can do different episodes about different things to
Yeah.
go to, like different forums, stuff with the Disney princesses, which was the
Yeah, that would
worst
have been
addition
good
to the
for
film.
like baby Disney,
Yeah,
or like
dude.
actual Disney. That would have been pretty okay. But the
Yeah.
fact that it was a movie just like got
It
everyone
just
hyped up.
it
It's like
stifled all the creativity it could have had. All
Yeah.
the good ideas the premise lent itself to were stifled by their by making it a movie. It was just a horrible idea.
you think
So
that
why
was
they do it?
arrogance that made them do it? You think it was arrogance? Oh, everyone will watch this. It's Wreck-It Ralph
Yes.
on it.
Yes. There was definitely dude Disney has a horrible fucking trend of making awful sequels to good movies.
That's pretty true.
However, I will say that Cinderella 4, good film. Good film. Ta- 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 Almost as good as Cinderella 5. Cinderella does her taxes. But it's good.
Cinderella 5, Black Cinderella. Like in the Toad, the Princess and the Frog, Louisiana adaptation. You
that
remember
was a good movie. I
It
like
was.
that one.
It was really good. They
No
did
one talks about that,
They
though.
did it culturally right. It was
Yeah.
a really good movie.
Yeah. And unlike Black Panther,
created
it
a-
didn't pander to.
Yo, the voodoo villain. That was the best.
He was
Holy
so
shit.
cool. I loved
He
it.
was
I love
really
that movie.
cool. Holy fuck. He had
Yeah.
that like shadow being that fucking talked to him.
Yeah.
Just like beating the shit out of him. Oh.
All right,
That
let me
was a
catch.
quality-
Let's take a pause here. We're at the 30-minute mark. I want to pause and catch up with chat and answer any questions they've asked. So I'm going to scroll back to the top and start answering questions. So we addressed the LGTB lettuce guava. What was it? Was it lettuce guava?
Lettuce, guava, tangerine, banana.
Tangerine banana. I think if you take
salad.
the lettuce out, it'd make a pretty good fruit salad.
I mean, it depends on the type of lettuce we're using. Because I think
Pikachu has asked me
pink or
at
purple
like
lettuce flowers.
Pikachu has asked me at least 4 times now, have I ever played Legend of Zelda, and if so, what is my favorite? The answer is no, I have not, because I didn't own any Nintendo consoles growing up. I was an Xbox kid.
That's fair.
Though I do want to get a Switch, because I love playing Smash Ultimate, and Breath of the Wild does look good.
No, don't get Breath. Well, I guess you could get Breath of the Wild. Never mind. It's pretty solid on its own. It's
Yeah.
kind of.
Well, it's only on the Switch, so still need
No,
to
it's
get a
not. It's
Switch.
on Wii U too.
Well, I don't own a Wii U.
Good for you, dude. You didn't buy a dead console. Console that was dead on release.
Yeah, that was. I remember the first one of these I uploaded to YouTube when I was alone. I just kind of went on a tangent. I was talking about the motion controls, and I said the Wii was a failure, and someone immediately in the comments, like not even an hour after I uploaded the goddamn video, someone said the Wii wasn't a failure. I shouldn't do that voice for him because I know he's gonna watch this one too. But the Wii wasn't a failure because it performed very well, and I wanted to point this out for you. You know who you are. I didn't mean it failed financially. It's just that critically and as a platform for third party developers and games, it was a failure. No one wanted to make games for it because the motion controls were
Fucking
so
Call of Duty.
fucking bad.
Call of Duty. Call of Duty Black Ops.
Oh god.
Oh my god, that was fucking.
So when I
hilarious.
said the Wii was a failure, what I meant was that no one liked it. I mean, there's plenty of people that's like, oh yeah, I had a lot of fun playing Wii Tennis or Wii Bowling. I'm like, yeah, what third party developed game did you like on the Wii? They'll be like,
GameCube. GameCube.
Alright, moving on. Did I know people are trying to remove his and her from the English dictionary? No. 1,
It's kinda
no.
weird.
2, that's stupid. 3, I don't think it'll actually happen.
I'm hoping it'll actually.
I don't.
I don't want it to happen. It's fucking weird.
So let's see. Want to climb up the top of the movie theater and jump to my death if I experience that. That's
Oh, me too, dude. Hell yeah.
okay. Was Wreck-It Ralph 2 worse than the new Ghostbusters or Suicide Squad or the movie that's name I
Oh
won't
wait.
speak because it's absolute fucking garbage. It doesn't deserve its name.
Speaking of new fucking Ghostbusters, they won't let it die. The like original director's son is like taking it over, and it's like,
Oh
oh yeah,
god.
that fucking all women Ghostbusters, that's not canon.
Good.
He just effectively removed it from the Ghostbusters universe. It's like,
Good.
wow,
It
what a
was
legend
worse than Ghostbusters 2.
it was.
You mean you had the I mean Ghostbusters 2 wasn't a horrible film, but our expectations were I don't want to say really really high, but they weren't really low either. Just make a decent film. And then they fucked it up. Cuz it was too busy wallowing both A being a Ghostbusters movie and B having women as the leads to make a decent movie.
It's pretty
So,
true.
Wreck-It Ralph 2 wasn't as bad as the new Ghostbusters, wasn't as bad as Suicide Squad, and I'm not certain what the third movie you're referencing is, but if you don't want to mention it, that's fine. And Meme says he's 30 minutes late. That's fine, Meme. Welcome. Alright. So that'll I'm just like every 30 minutes or maybe every 15 minutes I'll catch up with chat, but I don't want to focus on it because this is supposed to be listened to in the future by people who have nothing better to listen to. Hello, I'm speaking to you. Welcome.
Talking to me.
Are you gonna listen to this while doing something else?
Yeah.
What are you planning on doing? What are you
Just
planning on doing while
just, like,
listening?
all I can.
Well, you want to leave a message for future you to listen to and remember?
S-
Anything?
Nope, nothing.
Okay. Alright. Well, getting back to topics, we still have none. Uh, I don't give you guys a little bit of a heads up. I don't come into this with a
This was completely actually no. This was just this session. It was meant to be Pikachu, but he decided, oh,
well,
I'm gonna
even
take a
then,
bath. I'm gonna clean myself for
even
the
then, I
wrong
didn't
time.
have any. I'm gonna give you guys a little heads up on how I plan this stuff. What I do is every Sunday, I find someone to have an hour and a half long conversation with, and then we start talking. I don't compile any topics list. I don't look at what's trending. I just get them in and we start talking. I don't know. Because I think the topic, like if we talk about stuff happening relevantly in the news, that kind of dates it. But on the other hand, I'm not too upset about that. I mean, if it's just us having a pleasant conversation, you can listen to this at any time and it won't give you horrible flashbacks to what's happening in the current year. You'll just be like, oh, yeah, we're just talking, having an interesting conversation. But at the same time, I do want to have an interesting conversation that's worth taking an hour and a half out of your day to listen to. So, therein lies the rub. But may as well answer this question. Have I ever listened to the Misfits podcast? No. When I think I mentioned this earlier, but when I like play games like Skyrim or I'm just doing something and I want something to fill the air. There are three things I go to. I either watch or don't watch but listen to an old episode of Mystery Science Theater 3000 because the new season on Netflix is hot steaming garbage.
Just like
Ross's
everything.
Game Dungeon, a series hosted by Accursed Farms host Ross Scott, the guy who did Freeman's Mind. Very funny guy. Highly recommend you check out his channel, Accursed Farms. Maybe he'll give me a little sponsor if I mention them. Probably not.
Yeah.
Or third, I will. I, what was it? I immediately lost it. It was in my head. It escaped. It's dribbling down my leg. Come here, you son of a bitch. MST3K, Ross's Game Dungeon, or oh yeah, the Ego. No, not the Ego. Let's Drown Out. It's a podcast series done by Yahtzee Croshaw of Zero Punctuation fame. It's very old. The last one was done in like 2015, I think. But some of them are still funny when they're not making very biased and uninformed remarks about America, at which point I have to kind of skip forward. Because it's one thing to not know what you're talking about, it's another thing to be willfully ignorant and go against factual evidence when arguing something, which is what they did a lot. And Calico asks, "Have I ever heard about the video game TF2?" No, I haven't. Well, I've heard.
Titanfall 2?
I've heard about it, but I don't think I've ever seen it or I've ever played it. Would you care to take a couple minutes and describe it for us? Maybe what the gameplay is like, what the story mode contains. I do like myself a good campaign in my video games. Yes. Among them, I do so love Titanfall 1, a very strong campaign. Brink was also a very good, strong campaign mode. Yes. God, do you remember that game, Brink?
Yes. Just a little bit, though, because
I liked it.
immediately.
I really fucking liked playing
Yeah.
Brink. I thought it was a good game. But it was trying to compete with TF2 during its prime. So it didn't go
died
well. Yeah.
Instantaneously.
And I'm so upset because I really liked it. And I think the funniest part is that TF2 has items in it referencing Brink. And Brink is just another jewel in the crown of TF2.
Well, no, it's not that it has items referencing. They were whatever, right? They were, you buy Brink, you get the items in TF2.
Yeah. Yeah. They were cross
It was
promotional.
promotional.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. Like, what the heck? Why didn't it take off?
It wasn't really that. I don't want to say it wasn't that good. It's just that it didn't get updated. The game came out and that was it. Though the player base did die off very quickly, so it may have just been the fact that like no one stuck around for it to develop more. And I don't think Bethesda really planned to flesh it out more. So that was
Probably.
upsetting.
Yeah.
But I did like it. Brink 2. Hey Bethesda, Brink 2, want to get back some good karma? Brink 2. Stop ruining Fallout for 10 seconds. Just Brink 2. It's harmless, please. God, just stop fucking up.
Wasn't there some kind of like Fallout 3 remastered in the works or something? Leak?
Yes, there was I think you mentioned this, didn't you?
Did I? I don't remember this. I just
No.
like learned about it a day ago or something.
It was either you or my brother when I was talking to him earlier. There is a placeholder item on Amazon. It's Fallout styled and it has a countdown on it. And people are speculating what it's for. I can't help but get flashbacks to that Survivor 227 or whatever it was. The Fallout 4 scare. Some dude just set up a thing and was like, "Oh, it's gonna be Fallout 4," and everyone was gathered around. Even though Bethesda said constantly, "This isn't
not Fallout 4."
Yeah, we have nothing to do with this. This is a scam. Don't watch." And then it finally counted down. It was like a 2-month countdown. Finally got to 0, and thousands of people around the world got fucking rickrolled. It was so great.
Incredible.
And I just really hope that's what's gonna happen with this. Another idiot is doing it.
Fucking great. Holy
Just-
shit.
But what would be even better is if instead of a standard rickroll, someone took a bunch of snippets from interviews with Todd Howard and edited it together so Todd Howard rickrolls you.
Oh my god.
That's
think
my Christmas wish. Even though I
I
think
don't
the
think I'd be
countdown is
able to
not long.
survive. That would be the end of me, dude.
You sit
It'd
there,
be over after
watch
that.
like starting from the hour and then count down to 0 and then da 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 da. Is it bad that I actually genuinely enjoy that song?
No, it's actually a pretty well-made song overall.
I
It
think
may
it's
have
just
been used back in the day to fucking prank, but it's still a pretty good song.
yeah, I think it's a point of shame for people to announce that they enjoy the song because it's like, oh, you listen to the song, you got rickrolled. Ah, you
Oh, yeah,
goober,
it was-
you goober,
what?
you got
Fallout?
rickrolled.
Hold up, was Numa Numa a bad song? Do you remember that one? I
It's not
used to
even
listen
the
to
name
that
of
one.
it.
That one was a good one.
It's not even the
It's
name.
by Dragostea. Yeah, I know.
But oh my god. I don't know.
Dragostea Dente. All right, my bad, dude.
I don't know if it's a bad song, but I haven't listened to it in
You
fucking
haven't?
years. No.
Oh,
I do get it stuck in my head occasionally. It is very catchy.
yes.
Numa numa hey. Numa 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 hey. What language is that even in?
I don't fucking know, dude. It sounds good as shit, though. Fuck.
Russianese or
No,
something. It's Russianese, all right. We'll leave it at that.
It's Romanian. It's Romanian.
It is.
It is Romanian.
Romanian pop song.
Yep.
God, I wonder what the Numa Numa guy is up to nowadays.
Holy fuck.
I'd flip my shit to find out that he like lost all the weight, he got his life together, went to college, and like
Stop playing Halo.
stopped playing Halo.
That's fucking depressing as shit. God
Like,
damn it.
like I'll find out tomorrow he actually lives in the apartment above me. I pass him like every day, and I don't know it.
Oh, stop playing Halo, dude. When was the last time you went on Xbox Live and played Halo?
2000. Are we talking about 360 or like one as well?
Well, 360 Halo, I guess.
Probably 2012. So like 6 years since I played Halo Reach.
Now, imagine you go back on your 360, right? You log into Xbox Live. Everyone on your friends list has now been offline for 6 to 7 years.
Yes, I know that's a point of point of sadness.
It's so depressing.
I don't know. I don't know. I had a lot of like, I don't want to say fake friends, but just sort of shill friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, hey, you're fun to hang out with, but one day we'll stop talking, and I'm not gonna shed a tear over it.
Damn.
Well, I mean, like, I don't. I think I open up to people easily. I make friends easily, but you know, they're not like lifelong friends. I do have a few friends, you know, that I know really well and I've known for a long time, but you know, not everyone not every random yahoo I meet on Xbox Live is going to be my BFF forever.
Oh yeah, I understand. I don't know. This is kind of depressing. You know, last online 7 years ago.
I'm sure
This man could be dead. You'd never know.
I'm sure it's sad if it's like one day you're talking to him, he's like, "All right, man, I'll see you tomorrow." Then they never get on. I will admit there is something like that for me. A good friend of mine, I've known him since I was about 3. Friend of mine named Connor, grew up in the same neighborhood as I, and we've been best friends like our whole life. But over the past few years, his life has just been really fucking shit. Like, he's had a lot of family issues. And the last thing I heard of him is that he moved out with his girlfriend, and they're doing pretty well by themselves, but I have not seen or heard him in well over a year now, and every now and then fuck you. I saw that got posted in memes. What got yeah, so I'm sure
yes.
I just have to hope he's doing okay, and I would love to hear from him again, but I don't know, man.
He gone.
He's gone, and I'm upset, but
yeah,
it's not much I can do.
pretty.
I just have to hope that he's doing all right. Yeah. Stop thinking about how it affects you. Think about them as well.
It's true. So back to a happier topic.
Please.
What do you think I'd have to do to make my Dungeons & Dragons campaign playable?
Give it like a long form goal. I think that's the main sticking point of any D&D game is that you have to, you know, set it up.
But you also mentioned that I already have to start out by counteracting my overall meme fucking tendencies.
I think you'd have to curb a lot of your meme tendencies just because memes get old very, very quickly.
Fair enough.
You want a
I haven't
good
done the same thing twice. But
you want a good solid base, and then you can do a lot of meme shit around it, but you want that sturdy, serious base to drive it. Kind of like Leslie Nielsen in all of his comedy roles. He was very straight face. He delivered every line flat. Uh, never never really did this like oh goofy. He's like the antithesis to Jim Carrey. He was a straight man. All this goofy shit was happening, and he was taking it seriously. Like that was his day to day. That
Alright.
you need the main base of your storyline to be Leslie Nielsen, while everything that happens around it is the plot.
Okay.
Yeah, the shenanigans going on. Speaking of, I need to watch The Naked Gun again. Those are really good movies.
I agree.
I do have a Airplane double feature on DVD in my living room, and I watch them every now and then, or at least the first one.
Solid.
Yeah, good movies. From a time when parody movies were not only good, but when they were so good they would eclipse the films they were parodying. Like, have you ever seen the movie Airport?
Not the whole thing.
Have you seen Airplane?
Not the whole thing. I
Okay.
don't watch movies anymore. Movies that I have watched. I watched like 10 years ago or something.
Why not?
Because I just don't find them interesting, and they don't usually hold my attention for the
Mm,
whole time.
Fair
Just
enough.
kind of leave.
I do have a large stack of movies out there that I've never seen, but I got on not really on impulse, but just like I was like, oh, that's a great movie, and then I grabbed it and I haven't watched it yet. I do have most of the works by Tarantino because he is
Solid act.
hands down my favorite director. I
Gives white
love
people
his films.
the strength to say.
Yeah, speaking of memes, that phase when a white actor gets the script for a Tarantino movie. I'm gonna say the N word.
It's a
Actually,
pretty good movie.
funnily enough, I think my personal favorite film of his was either Inglorious Bastards, where no one said nigger, or Django Unchained, where everyone said
Everyone
nigger.
said nigger.
Yeah. But they're just really good movies. Very interesting, very, very well done. Oh, jeez. Pardon me. I had Chili's for dinner.
Wow.
Yeah, I went and got the unlimited soup and salad. I got the loaded baked potato soup, and had the fried pickles for an appetizer, and it was really good.
It's a big old. I had a fucking can of like spaghettios and meatballs.
Yeah,
That
and
was my
what?
dinner.
You might
I had
kind of lag.
spaghetti. I had spaghettios and meatballs for dinner, dude.
Spaghettios.
Yep.
Oh god,
Away
living
from
the
a college
dream.
Hell yeah, dude.
The college dream. You're a bachelor out on the town on your own. What are you doing? Eating spaghettios in the
Spaghetti.
bathtub, crying because your thesis is due in 2 weeks and you haven't even started.
Hell yeah. Sounds pretty accurate. I don't have a thesis, but yeah.
Not yet.
Thesis is higher education
Yeah, you need that for your masters.
and doctorate.
Yeah,
Literally anything and not a bachelor's.
yeah. Well, I mean, a bachelor's is a solid enough degree, depending on what it is. Yeah, if it's very specialized.
I mean, you say that, but the only viable bachelor's degree you can possibly get are going to be a business and art, and even then, that's
Ah,
not saying a whole lot.
not art.
Because
I don't know.
beyond that, just about everything you need to do today is fucking like master's or doctorate entry level, and it's fucking stupid.
Well, I mean, the bachelor would go well if it's either a very specialized field that doesn't
But
require
very specialized bachelors like that don't exist, though.
yeah. Well, I guess what I'm thinking more is like if you go to a tech school and you get certified with them.
Oh, you go a trade school.
Trade school.
You
that's it.
avoid fucking college like the plague. Smart man.
Yeah.
I see. You are wise.
I think it was Louis C.K. that said that trade schools and like technical high schools are where dreams get narrowed down.
That is very much correct.
Like you're told
College,
your
they're
whole
fucking.
life, you can do anything and become anything, and then you go there and it's like you can do 104 things.
Versus if you go to college, you do your thing that you've been dreaming about your whole life, and only then at the end of it do you realize this isn't marketable. I
Yeah.
can make $0 doing this. Fucking, this is actually worthless.
I feel so bad for all those
Just
people that
fucking
went and
bye.
got gender studies degrees.
Pretty much. You can't do anything with a bachelor's. If you go to college, you have to commit to a master's or a doctorate. You can't do anything with a bachelor's unless you go into business and be an entrepreneur, or you be an
Well-
arts fucking student. And in that case, you're an arts student, so you're already a complete fucking joke. Like, what the hell, dude? Why would you go to college
Like
for
I
an
was
arts degree?
like I was saying, it depends. Like if you get your bachelor's in biochemistry, that does give you a ticket. Like yeah, you're qualified to work in a lab. You're not going to
I
be
don't
like
think
the head of any research, but you can get sort of a
Yeah,
baseline job doing a very specialized
but
projects,
it's
like,
not.
depending
It's
on
not
what you
gonna
did.
be. It's not gonna pay very well though. Lab
Hey, Bruce.
assistants get paid minimum wage.
Well, that's not an assistant. Like if you just have a very basic knowledge on how to like move shit around a room and not fuck everything up, you can be a lab assistant.
Yeah.
But I
That's
mean like
for people without degrees though.
I mean people with like a for instance I heard
Yeah,
of
but you can't run your own lab with a bachelor's
no,
degree.
no,
That's not
no.
how it
You
works.
need like at least a master's,
Yeah,
depending on where you work.
the best job
But-
you can get with a base biochemistry degree, a bachelor's biochemistry degree is going to be a lab assistant.
No, not
Like
at
that's
all.
yes, that
no.
is going to be it.
No, I
You
can
will have
tell
to
you.
specialize.
I can tell you no because there's a YouTuber I watch who talked about his experience working in a lab with
When did he get into the field?
He has a bachelor's. I think I'm going to assume from how
If it
he
was before
talked.
2010, I believe
No.
it. If it's not before 2010, I don't believe
No,
it.
it would
There's
have to
no
be
way this
sometime
man
in the
has-
past 6 years
No way.
because of how old he is. He's like 26, I think. So it would have had to be sometime in the past 6 years he worked there.
26? No. He could have a master's degree.
He
Because
has
that
a
would-
bachelor's. He says this. He has
Base
a bachelor's in biochemistry.
That would be
and he
4 years.
specialized-
That's a 4-year degree, though.
Okay. So what, you think he went into college at like 15?
At 22.
Yeah.
To
and
get a doctorate.
okay, I'm telling
fucking
he's
doctorate,
26 when he's telling the story.
It's 4.
which is-
It's look at it as 4 years per level, right?
Okay.
So bachelor's is 4 years, master's is 8 years, doctorate
You're-
is 12 years.
You're just
Right.
cementing the idea that this was past like post 2010 is what you're doing.
No, my problem is post 2010, pretty much every specialized job entry level is master's or doctorate.
Have you checked every entry level job?
Yes, it's very unlikely that you'd get in.
You have
with
checked
just a
literally
bachelor's.
every single entry level job, regardless of position and
I've
what
checked
work they
a
do.
vast majority of them because we did this
I-
as a project in high school. You're allowed to doubt me all you want, but a
I highly
bachelor's
doubt you.
competitively puts you at a massive disadvantage.
it
And
does.
therefore,
I'm not-
it is very unlikely that you would get a job, in
I
a
am not-
specialized
I am not
position
arguing.
when in competition with people with masters and
I
doctors.
am
So,
not
yeah, I'm very much
arguing that a
doubting that-
bachelor's is better than a master's. I never
no,
said
the problem,
that.
the thing, I'm not arguing that though. I'm arguing that it is very unlikely for me to believe that this man only has a bachelor's, right?
You
and is
didn't even
working
let
in
me
a
tell the whole
specialized-
story.
All right, tell your story.
The story, it's not my story, it's his story. I'm relaying it to you. But he worked with a company, I don't think he mentioned the name of, but they were looking for someone to work in a lab, not as an assistant, but like actually do work. I have no idea the exact term he used. I do not have a bachelor's in biochemistry, so bear with me. He was working on synthesizing very small protein batches. And the story he told was about how horrible the interview was.
So he was kind of
But-
a lab keeper. He was not
He
in
was
charge
not
of
a
anything. He was in
was
charge
not
of creating
a
the
keeper.
cultures.
He was
okay.
he was
No, he was responsible for the lab. He is
He was-
basically a lab keeper.
he was okay. Do you want me to tell the story and stop?
In simple person terms, he was a lab keeper.
No,
His job was
he
to
was-
create cultures and keep the lab in order.
He was not just creating culture, he was testing them, adding different chemicals to the mix, and doing work on these formulas, synthesizing the proteins. He was doing actual biochemistry work. He was not just a bitch that an overpaid janitor that came in and put everything in its place. He did work,
Are you
biochemistry
saying that
work,
making are
with
you
just a
saying that
bachelor's.
making protein colonies is a fucking janitor bitch job?
No, you're saying that he wasn't doing that. He was just keeping the lab.
No, I said that he was making the protein what?
He
Okay,
was
whatever.
working in a large lab with a lot of other people doing the exact same work. He did not have his own personal specialized lab where he was allowed to do his own experiments. That's a doctorate. That's like a
Mhm.
professor. I'm not
Yes.
saying that. He did, however, apply his biochemistry degree, a bachelor's no less, to get a job doing fucking chemistry. So, no, not all entry levels. I don't think this is even, to be fair, I don't think this is technically an entry level job. I don't know how much room for
Entry level job is
promotion
going well, entry
it
level job
gave.
is going to be like the base job you can get with that degree. So this is going to be the flat average job,
I
right?
don't know
So
because,
looking
again,
at
I am
like
not a
physician,
biochemist.
no. Let's look at physician, right? To be a physician, you need a doctorate. That is an entry
Yeah,
level
because that's
job.
medical.
Yes, but that is entry level for that physician, right? That
Right.
occupation. And what I was trying to say about that is that you are very, very much at a competitive disadvantage going in with a bachelor's degree. So
Yes,
it was
you
very
are.
unlikely, post 2010, right? This was after 80% of the jobs, right, that are primarily very specialized. They
This
went like
had
a
to have been
step up.
post 2010.
Well, 2010, a lot of jobs stepped up,
Yeah.
right? I think that was when, shoot, when did I know physical therapy started to take itself more seriously and decided to become a doctorate entry level
I don't know about
around
that.
that time, something like that. A lot
It
of
really,
different like
okay, to get off
half
this
medical, half
pointless
non-medical.
bickering, uh, I don't think it's fair to just, like, use a modicum of knowledge and claim that that is, you speak for the entirety of that subject. I know a lot, like, everyone does it nowadays, like, literally the worst, or, like, everything, or whatever. Like, I'm trying to stop doing that. But, like, I don't think it's fair to say that literally every single entry level job requires a master's, or else there would be
Well, it's
no
specialized
one with
jobs.
jobs.
It's not low skill.
Okay, how specialized do you consider biochemistry?
Pretty decently specialized. Like it would definitely
Okay.
be at least on the level of like
Okay, and this man got a
sports
job,
therapy and other stuff. Yeah,
in a lab doing actual biochemistry work with
which
a
is
bachelor's.
impressive then in the current year.
Yeah, so good for him. If Puffin Forest, if you're listening to this, good for you. I don't think he's gonna listen to this. Y'all need to help spread this podcast like the plague.
Why?
Because I want people to listen to it, and I want people to like me!
Damn.
Give me money! No.
I already
I care
like
more about the
Bucket.
views.
Damn.
Aw, thank
Okay.
you. I like you too.
Thanks, man.
But I would like to become more popular because I believe I am an amazing, near perfect human being that everyone should admire and listen to. And not enough people realize my genius, so you all, my dear disciples, need to go out and spread my message like the plague and make sure that everyone is itching for more bucket crust.
Damn.
Oh god. Alright, we're
Alright,
over an
so
hour now, so we can
new
stop
topic.
whenever we want. But
What's a new topic we can talk about? What would you run a D&D campaign about, dude? If you were to be a DM.
I don't know. I never really gave much thought to like actual storylines. I have played with the idea of like, having to create scenarios and all that. But that's just more like the writer in me saying, "Oh yes, you can really show off your creativity, and all these people will be forced to listen to you go on and on about all the peculiar details of this goblin's gnarled cock," and that tickles me. A captive audience, if you will.
Damn.
So, yeah, as one who aspires to write, it it appeals to me. But as for seriously DMing a game, that's a lot of work. I haven't even begun to think about all the
Well, I
intricacies
mean,
of
look.
the work.
Well, if we were doing it with like what looks would at face level, right? Like gauge effort. I know
That's
he
mean. He
he
does put
definitely
effort.
puts
Yeah.
but it's very like he uses stock images for enemies, right?
To
That
be
kind of effort,
fair,
you know.
I don't think I could be bothered to like personally craft a sprite for every single gambler in a casino.
Well, you don't think you could do better than stock?
No, I don't think I
Stock
could.
image?
Dude, I can't draw.
You don't need to draw. You just need to find it on the internet, and it isn't stock. What do you mean?
Well,
Gage typed in gambler and fucking copy
well,
paste.
where are you Okay, what are you gonna do, Mr. DM Pants here? You gonna
Make it
custom
look.
commission a bunch of artists to give you custom art to use for your enemies?
Hell no, I'm just not gonna use fucking stock image.
Well, then what are you
What
gonna
do you
do then?
mean?
Like, look, there were no watermarks on the images.
There were definitely watermarks.
Not-
They just weren't big enough for you to see them.
Whatever. You think you're so much better than Gage? Wait till Gage hears this. He's gonna say you're meanie bobini and not suck your weenie.
He's gonna cuck my meme character. Make me make another one.
Weren't you actually trying to kill Huey yesterday?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
I was not trying to kill Huey ever. What the fuck do you mean? Why would I want to kill him? He's like probably the magnum opus of like my whole D&D experience.
Actually, since Gage isn't listening right now, how about spoiling what that magical orb Huey acquired was?
I'm gonna call it a Fixitol.
Fix it all.
I think you can tell based on that name.
I'm going to assume it lets you re-roll.
No, very
No?
close though.
Okay, so like if you break your gun, it'll fix it.
Yep,
Ah, yeah, I should have known, seeing as how
infinite
he did
fixes.
that. Oh wow, all right, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it is.
I wonder if he
It is
pulled
very
that out
nice.
of his ass. Like, oh shit,
He
this
definitely-
idiot rolled a nat 20 investigating a bunch of empty boxes. Fuck.
Pretty much, yeah.
I gotta do something.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened.
I
I wasn't expecting to do that. That was literally just me giving Gage the middle
I-
finger.
I know this.
Or
is
no, it
not-
wasn't even Gage. It was fucking Krisha. Fucking Krisha said that, and I was like, "All right, no, I'm not." Bet. Fucking rolled investigation.
I know this conversation may be kind of out of place for those of you not
The
participating in our
single
current
greatest
D&D
power
game,
move
which
I've ever
is
made.
all of you minus Gage if you listen to this later.
Basically, Gage made a Wild West D&D game where I play an African American fucking doctor, right? And what happened was I managed to basically search some obviously empty shelves, right? Some like bare ass dry wood shelves.
Well, what
and
it was
What?
is we were at a casino that was
Oh,
really
okay.
more like a Chuck E. Cheese.
Telling him the whole story, okay?
You weren't. You were just saying you were searching shelves. I'm.
I was
telling
giving him
whole
the
story.
important part. What do you
Well,
mean?
this is important.
All right, whatever.
All right, like recap the audience so they understand. We were at a casino that really functioned more like a Chuck E. Cheese because like you'd gamble for special coins
And then you dive
you'd
headfirst
spend-
into the ball pit. Hell yeah.
Then you'd spend the coins at like a reward counter and buy stuff with them, and it was fucking stupid, but it worked. And one of the things they could do is for so many not so many guns, so many points or tokens or whatever, they could fix your guns. And basically, we ended up heisting the place and stole all of the rewards, the Elvis outfits and the fancy dresses and the glow-in-the-dark armbands. These are actual things that Gage added as rewards.
I love it.
and we
love
stole
modern day.
everything. Then we came back later, because we left one of our guys there.
Left a party member behind. We forgot him in a room.
Yeah.
He got knocked the
No,
fuck
he
out, so he
didn't
wasn't
get
allowed to talk.
he didn't get knocked out. He just took a nap while we heisted the place.
Okay.
And we went back and we decided to Huey, Joey's character here,
African American doctor, right?
yes,
Huey.
decided to roll investigation on the shelves to see if there's anything left worth
The
taking.
god after.
And
this was
he
after we.
and he
Hell yeah.
rolled a nat 20. So Gage, in a fit of hysteria, had to come up with something to give him, and ended up giving him a magical item that could fix our guns in case they break. So, personally, what I would have, if I was in Gage's shoes, what I would have done is had like the shelves fold back and a podium rises out of the ground with like a golden crown on top of it, and then like
King
Huey
Louis.
would take it, put it on, we go and confront King Casino, and he'd be like, "No, the crown, you." Like all
And
the
just
all,
get
it's like you.
instantaneous like boost to intimidation.
No,
too.
he
fucking-
no, he'd be like, "Gods, shoot that bozo!" And all the guys would be like, "No, he is the casino king now. You have no power here." And Huey would be
You have no
promoted to the
power
king of the
anymore.
casino.
that would definitely have been a better ending. But I'm okay with the way it went anyway. It's
Yeah.
fine. Somehow Carlos lived. How the fuck did
Sadly.
he do that? Actually, I'm actually confused. How the fuck did he do that?
No, that's what it was. He was trying to intentionally die.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's
But-
actually impressive.
Yeah. So.
I'm hoping in our fucking next session, the Oogwog session, my turtle druid come through. Hey man, I don't discriminate.
You just. What is like? Yeah, he's not African American. He's a Nick. No, this is a turtle.
Turtle druid doesn't even
Like
matter.
calling a turtle would be offensive. It's like, hey man, I'm sentient. Fuck
Hey
you.
man, I'm sentient. I'm a man of the forest. Come on,
Bruh,
you gotta talk like
yeah,
way
come-
slower.
Come drink ranch dressing with me. We'll get high.
My time has come.
So like hippie Oogway.
I need to make that a fucking spell too. My time has come. It's gotta like slow down their movements or something, or like age them forward as a druid. I need to be able to do that.
No, I
can
think
sketch let me do
fitting
that.
what it would do is it would turn you into a cloud of peach tree leaves. Not peach. but what are those? What are those goddamn pink leaf trees
Send
in
me-
Japan?
Fucking.
Someone help.
shoot.
What are the pink leaf
They're like
trees?
rose petals. They're like
They're
rose
not.
tree-
They're not rose trees.
pet-
Roses
no.
don't
The
grow
fuck
on
are they?
trees. They're flowers that
Shit.
come out of the ground on vines. Or are they on vines? I think so.
Cherry blossom. All right.
Cherry, is it?
Yes, cherry
Yes,
blossoms.
yes. Okay. So you turn into a like a gust of wind with a bunch of
And
cherry
I
blossoms, and it would
enter the spirit realm.
you'd be immune to damage, and you'd become incorporeal, and you could.
I double
gust
my
away.
move speed.
But sadly,
Hell
once
yeah.
it wears off, you
You-
get
you
taken off
actually
into
die,
the
you
wind
fade
and you
away.
die. Yeah.
You're done.
It's just this big to do, and then you're dead. So fuck.
My time has come, I say before casting a stupid ass spell and killing myself instantly. Oh my god. That sounds like the strat, not gonna lie. God damn. But no, I can't let Oogwog die because Gage has given me permission to change the name of the first spell I get, first cantrip I guess I get, called Goodberry, where I like get
Oh yeah.
free 10 healing right off the bat.
Fuck Goodberry.
He let me change it to Good Burger. Like the movie. So now I get to like run around like 10 burgers to do 1 buck each. It's fucking great, dude. I love it.
Oh my fucking Goodberry. Wait, isn't that a bit like isn't that a bit backwards for a druid? Like serving up beef?
I mean, what if it's a bean patty, dude?
Oh
What do
fuck,
you
I
know?
ain't eating it. That's not a good burger. Fuck you. That's a shit burger. I ain't eating that. goddamn soybeans trying to make me grow with a goober.
Hell yeah. Fucking Druid Turtle Man says do it.
Druid Turtle Man in triple parentheses says eat more soy.
Pretty accurate, yeah. I'll give you that. It explains a lot. The fucking bean patty burgers, dude. That explains a lot.
Hey,
Damn.
hey, Red. No, it is not. Because this is a podcast for people to listen to later while jerking off or whatever. So having random music on in the background isn't exactly what they'd imagine. Though I should try and get like a generic, like royalty-free song I can loop in the background. I think that would really benefit the stream. I should look into that. Royalty-free music. I'm gonna look this up.
I want Gage to do this Wild West thing again. This Wild West, like,
Yeah, it's good.
version of
I hope
D&D
he
was actually
keeps
pretty.
the book.
I just need to not pick a meme character. I need to stop being the fucking peeler, because that's what I've done like every single campaign I've done. I've only been like objectively retarded, but I follow the fucking
God, this
goal
one's
of the session.
trying to make me create an account. Okay, next website.
What are you doing?
I'm looking for royalty-free music. Jesus Christ, $65 for a track?
Just go on YouTube and look up royalty free or whatever that fucking
Yeah,
guy's
but
name
I'm
is.
still. Oh, what? Kevin MacLeod?
Yeah, go to his SoundCloud. Come on.
Alright, Red wants me to listen to this song. I'll give it a brief. I'll look at the name. Oh, the new song. Yes, I've heard this.
No, that's not good background music.
No, it is not because it has lyrics. And also, my buddy Mark is super fucking obsessed with that guy. Really big fan. And he has listened to all like 600 new songs he's made.
This is how time.
Yes. And Joey Red suggests you be a healer, but with a murderous history. So like a chaotic evil healer
that doesn't
who's
do
secretly
anything, though. That doesn't do anything.
No, but it makes it more interesting to play. Like you secretly.
It makes it more interesting as a character, maybe, but the fucking abilities of said character are still effectively nothing. I have a zero influence on any that's actual whatever, unless I roll a fucking nat 20. In which case, then everyone follows me. And that's hilarious. In my opinion, at least. Fucking.
I'm going to listen to some of these and think if I can find something to fit. Let's see. What would you call the mood we need?
I don't know.
Relaxation / meditation?
No, God,
I'm thinking
no.
more sexy / sensual.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. I'm getting turned on already.
Let's listen to some of these. How about this?
I wish I knew what you were listening to. Oh yeah, this is pretty good, man. Not gonna lie.
That's a bit too lyric-y. I think this needs to be instrumental. Funny enough, Red, Joey is a druid in this new game we're doing.
In fact, a druid turtle, so it actually works out because I have like natural 17 armor, AC, whatever it's called, dude.
That's no. No, that's a bit too active. No. I like this track. It kind of reminds me of the song Killing Strangers by Marilyn Manson. Kinda. Ah, perfect. I'll put this one on every time I have you co-hosting with me. A Girl from Osaka.
What the fuck? Why am I the fool? Gage literally has fucking anime figures, yet I'm the weeb? Okay. What the fuck? I feel like personally attacked.
Ooh, Disco Fever.
Ooh. This sounds more my style.
Jazz Hotel Cocktail. This is the last one I'm gonna listen to.
Oh my god.
I don't know if this would fit what we're talking about too much. But, it's fair. It's alright. That's all right. It's kind of jazzy. I like the jazz. All right, I'll let's see, what is this? 1 hour royalty free smooth jazz mix.
Amazing. What the fuck?
All right, fine. I'll just put this on in the background.
Oh my god.
I'll just keep this on in the background for the rest of this, and y'all can tell me, like, in the comments on YouTube what you think, if I should keep this. I suppose it wouldn't be too much effort to just have the video running in the background. That's a bit loud. I want it to be background. That's good. Alright, so any other topics we have? We are at 1 hour and 20 minutes, so if you just want to stop.
Didn't expect it to last this long.
Oh, yeah,
like, all honesty, what the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, the first one was a real fucking struggle for me, because I was doing it alone.
Oh,
And I had to just keep rambling non-stop about anything that came to mind.
Alright, wow.
So
My bad, excuse me. Sorry, I'm not good at initiating conversation.
No, I'm just saying that that's a testament to how dedicated I am to this.
It's probably true.
However, if you just want to keep going, I just don't want to exceed 2 hours. I think that's a bit much.
We're fine to stop here, too.
Do you want to stop?
I don't know what the fuck to talk about anymore.
Well, that's how you felt at the beginning of this, and we've been making do so far.
I guess, but I haven't really been contributing much myself, so...
Yes, you have. We had a whole argument.
Alright, whatever.
That's like a third of what I got out of Will.
Did Will really do that?
Every time I get into a conversation with him, we always end up arguing about something, and it's like arguing with a brick wall made out of stupid.
It's hilarious.
Because he treats it like you're bartering. Like, he doesn't budge an inch. He wants the whole thing. He doesn't want to take halvesies.
He wants the whole pizza, dude.
Yeah, exactly. He wants to fold it up into a burrito and just deep throat it.
Give me the calzone.
And I say, no, Will, we ordered this for the party. You can't eat the whole damn thing. And he just, like, pulls out a knife and starts shouting. So I pull out a knife and start shouting at him, and all the guests flee in terror. We usually stop arguing before the cops show up, so we can clean up a bit. But you better believe that before, like, we go to bed the night, he'll start. He'll start again, then we go to bed angry, and I don't get any sex that night, so it pisses me off.
Me too.
Red asks, what kind of druid? Thank you, Calico. I'm glad you enjoy it.
It's a turtle druid.
I cut myself off. Red asks, what kind of druid you're making yourself out to be?
Oh, I don't fucking know, dude.
Well, I think you already know. It's a turtle druid. Called Oogwag, not Oogway.
Twilight Circle, so I'm already gonna be like...
Twilight Sparkle? What are you, a fucking faggot?
Right, hell yeah.
Hey, everybody! This motherfucker like them ponies! He's
First
a clopper.
of all, hell yeah, brother. Second of all, it's Circle to you.
Who's your favorite pony? Tell us.
That one with the mark on its ass.
That one, my favorite.
I love that one.
The one with the ass tattoo. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite is the one that's sort of got like the 4 legs. And
you mean the one without the ass tattoo?
No, they've all got ass tattoos. But I like the one with the 4 legs and like the tail is kind of bushy and
oh yeah,
neck.
Dude, I love that one. That one's pretty good. Pretty solid character development.
In a campaign you're running. Wait, Red, you're actually running a campaign? I'm surprised, seeing as how the one you tried to start with us was horrible.
Fucking prepare it. He wasn't ready.
But in the campaign you're running, I have a friend who decided to be a bard turtle. He started with 1 charisma.
What a legend.
But now has
charisma.
5 because of items. Yeah, see, that's the kind of shit where it's just like, oh god, I'm fucked. A bard with 1 charisma. You know what that means, right? He's just like,
Love me.
Tell us, it's like, sing us a song, bard.
Sing us a song. You're the piano man.
I'm trying to sing he's tone deaf. Well, he should be able to communicate. Oh, he's tone deaf IRL.
Epic. I love it.
Oh,
So, you know, that's a good contrast.
Yeah. Oh fuck. That's fantastic. Oh my god.
I need to like start taking these games more seriously though, cause like
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just Carlos that like boosts the difficulty up, but that like encounter with the monks, that shit fucked me up. I understand they got back-to-back nat 20s, but like that still fucked me up.
What monks?
That was
what?
so bullshit.
You
You
gotta-
remember that one session where like everyone got knocked unconscious, and then I decided to climb a wall and then ambush a monk?
Ambush a monk. Oh, you mean the guy, like where you tried to tackle that dude off the cliff and you just jumped off?
No, it was after that. It was the one with the dude that looked at you and you took like 20 damage. He stared in your general direction and did like 20 damage to you. I got knocked unconscious.
I
don't remember who
not-
finished him.
Wait, you mean the dude with like the lava pits?
No, I was not there for that session. It was
Yes,
the
you
other session.
were.
The one
Yes,
before that. The one
No,
like
you
right
weren't.
before that.
Oh god. Oh,
was like
wait. Was that the one where you and Carlos were in the mine digging up silver the whole
No,
time?
that was the same one where I tackled the dude and fell off a cliff.
I do not remember for the life of me.
It was after that, but before the lava pit.
Ah, God, I do not remember.
No, but basically, I climbed the wall, I got around everything, then I ran into a monk. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fucking fuck this dude up. I roll a nat 1, fucking like, get knocked prone. The man whips out a fucking whip. This was like Huey's
Oh!
second session.
Yeah,
And I
the
get whipped to shit
whips.
because he rolls 2 back-to-back fucking nat 20s, and I
Just
just get
go
dicked
into
super
a
hard.
fucking crypt and a bunch of monks, bunch of white guys, turn, see a black guy by himself, and just both simultaneously pull out fucking whips, and you're just like, oh hell no! And they just start whipping you.
Whip the shit out. They rolled 2 nat 20s. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
Get whipped and
I had,
hope
like-
your
no, no,
nipples remain
I had a
attached.
I had an 8 damage dagger at the time, and they were fucking slapping me 20s with the fucking whips. Like, what the fuck is this bullshit?
Just
dude?
right on the tip of my dick.
It's like there was nothing I could do about it, so I had to fucking leave and then get knocked out because I was within proximity of the fucking death stare of this fucking one dude had. He had the stink eye of death. Oh, man.
Stink.
Fucking-
I do not remember Stink Eye Joe. I
no,
remember
fucking-
like every other session except Stink Eye Joe. I don't know why. I can't remember.
I don't fucking know, but that dude like dicked me super hard.
Also,
Like a
Red,
fucking,
you need to lay off with a Kenku.
Whoa.
Yeah, we get it. You're a furry, but stop it. They are small, cute little bird people. Stop it. You're despoiling the Kenku.
But no, I think Ugwag is gonna be like my last meme character. I think after that I'm gonna try to take it seriously and try to roleplay. But I don't
Well-
know how to fucking like full honesty. Gage is like, oh yeah, make your spells, and then he's never like told me what to do. Like even in the first session, I didn't know what the fuck that meant. He just said, make
I mean,
your
just
spells.
be
I'm like, what
imaginative.
does that mean?
Be imaginative. For instance,
I was, and I ran it by him. He was like, no, and then never
Well,
said
what were
anything
your
about it
ideas?
ever again.
What were your ideas?
So the first one, I was a bard, right? And I was like, oh, give me a charm, dude. Just let him, like, be, soothed or whatever for, like, 10 turns or something. Till,
I
like, the end of
think-
the session or something.
No. I
stupid
think
like
what
that.
he meant by make your spells was with his whole homebrew magic affinity thing.
Oh,
That's what he meant.
that's dumb.
Well, I mean, I think it's okay. Though
It was dumb because I was a bard with like 28 charisma.
you don't need them, but you still
Fucking
want to.
stupid. I don't need magic. I want skills, dude.
Well, just still have them
They
just to
didn't have
have them.
anything.
Better to have it and not need it than need and not have it.
I guess.
Like, for instance, what I did with Jeremiah. You know, we were talking about how cover is important. Jeremiah's elemental affinity was earth, so I decided, hey, conjure a wall to use as
Except
cover.
I don't think Huey got... Or no, Apache definitely didn't get magic, but I don't think Huey got magic either.
I talked to Gage about it.
It's too late in the session. Literally, the next session's gonna be the last one.
No, I said, like, we got 3 more sessions.
Ah. Shit. Fuck.
I like how
don't
this
even
is
know.
just devolved to us talking about D&D, but people are still listening because
D&D is a pretty interesting fucking...
it is. It is.
It's enigmatic. It can go either way. It can be
Yeah.
super nerdy and not fun.
No, it
Or you can-
is. It is super nerdy, but it just it
you
varies.
See, I disagree
Hold on.
because I play it completely differently from...
Oh, let me.
There's
let me
Carlos's
let me ex-
gameplay and then there's my
oh! Let me explain my stance here. It is by its default nature super nerdy, but it can go many ways from there. Like, you can have your stupid meme games like what you and Gage do a lot. You know, just taking the piss out of it and having fun, not really role-playing. Or it can be super serial, like, always in character. You gotta roll to, like, not choke on your own goddamn breath and die. You know, like, very finicky. But either way, it is, you know, very nerdy. You tell someone, yeah, I'm playing D&D, they'll be like, they'll either be, nerd, or they'll say, oh my gosh, me too! And then you'll both just jizz out over it.
Let me into your session.
Yeah! Speaking of, you gotta cut me in on another one of your sessions. I need my fix, man.
Yeah, that's the thing though. I kind of want to run my own D&D thing, but like I don't know if anyone's gonna join it because they know me as a meme character, not as
Well, if you promise to, like, play it straight, but just, like, play the main thing straight and just have, like, meme stuff happen.
Well, yeah, I
I'll
intend to do
play.
that, but I
I'll
intend to
play.
have this like different shenanigans like packed into it, right? I think
Yeah,
that'd be
sure.
hilarious.
Dude,
you
I'll
know?
play it.
The fucking, like I was talking about it earlier, the fucking grandma fucking ambush, and then literally next session you see another very similar.
Looky
like,
here, boys.
grandma
Looks like we've
just
got
shank the
ourselves
shit
another
out of her.
Ponce.
you just beat the shit out of this grandma. You fucking realize, oh my god, this was real.
Yeah, dude, count me in. I'll play it. Is that the main thing that inspired you to start your own session? Was to just, like, have grandma ambush?
No.
You were
That's
you were
part
playing
of it,
Fallout New
part of
Vegas
it,
again
but, like,
recently, weren't you?
fucking hilarious. Yes. I think it's hilarious though.
Got ourselves another Ponce. Just pull out rolling pins of death.
Hell yeah, dude.
20 damage swings. Like, oh fuck, grandma's packing heat. Yeah, I think that's what makes D&D so, in your own words, enigmatic. Is that there's no really, like, set rules. Sure, you can follow the rule books and the, you know, the handbooks, but most
The
people...
campaigns are completely like custom.
Yeah, most people have homebrew rules that they use to, you know, do their own stuff, and you can have it go any fucking way. It's all up to the GM. So no one really follows the same rules as everyone else, unless you go to, like, Adventurers League, where they have a very
Pretty much.
strict set of rules. I don't think I could play an Adventurers League. It seems very strict. I heard a story of one guy who, like, his only encounter with Adventurers League was he went to a game, and the GM said, dude, can you stop role-playing so hard? We're just trying to play the game, and you're kind of taking us out of it. And
What
he
the
got
fuck?
he got told this after spending, at max, 3 minutes working on a backstory for his character. And if every session's like that, fuck that, man. That's why I play. Get out of here.
What the fuck?
Oh, yeah,
That
fuck.
doesn't sound like a game. That sounds like a fucking cult gathering. Why the fuck would you go to that? What the hell, dude?
I roll for damage. 12. You do 12
I roll
damage.
for damage.
I roll.
12.
I roll to hit. 13, but I have a +6 modifier. It is a hit.
Goddamn cone
Roll.
heads. Fucking.
It is a hit. Roll for damage. It is a 12. You deal 12 damage.
Fucking
Yay.
Conehead's voice. Conehead's voice.
I
You gotta make it like super nasally. You never saw Coneheads?
no.
What? That was a pretty good fucking parody.
What do you mean nasally
it was
like this?
Yeah, you've never seen Coneheads? Fucking.
No, I haven't. But all right, I'll do the nasally voice. You'll encounter a treant. Roll for initiative. I got 12. Okay, you have 12 initiative. You swing first. Okay, I roll to hit. 16. Alright, you hit. Roll for damage. 13. You deal 13 damage. Yay. That's...
Hold up, I need to like send you the trailer or something. I don't fucking know.
I'm really not that interested in the Coneheads canon.
It's a good movie though. Like, it's pretty.
I'd rather
putting in
watch
look at
Mars
this.
Attacks.
It's going into look at this.
Alright, I'll look at this. God, that fucking picture you sent is so weird, the creepy ass puppet. I'm liking the background music though. It's adding a little ambience.
Hell yeah.
I'll keep this in mind. I'll be sure to give this video a like. The finest smooth jazz. It could also be a good benchmark for when to end the stream. Once we reach an hour, I can just tell everyone to fuck off. So I'm looking. Where is it?
Just thought that would have been the perfect fucking voice for. It's pretty.
Oh, you put it in memes.
I did? Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
My bad. Oops.
I'll watch it later.
That's fair.
Whatever. But yeah. So I don't think people mind listening to D&D. I don't think it really matters what we talk about. Like I said, this is just sort of background noise for people to put on and sort of fill the air.
Tell us if you want a bucket to stream the D&D sessions, because it might be kind of funny.
And like I keep saying, most D&D streams are one of two things. Either it's like people actually gathered around a table doing
Which
it
we're
with a
not
camera.
gonna do. No, we're gonna be Roll20
Or
looking like goons.
or-
We're gooning out, dude.
Or you have like face cams of everyone involved and like a whole like UI set up to update people about what's happening, which I do not have. And unless you all want to put on face cams to contribute,
Yeah, we don't need to do that. Just need the
That's-
story so far, and then a brief summary of what the fuck happened.
yeah, but like what would
previously.
they be seeing?
What do you mean? What would they be seeing? They'd be watching you play on Roll20.
They would be like seeing my point of view.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know about
as
that.
an adventurer in the group, right? But you'd also be like with the rest of us, and it'd only really be detrimental if you were like deaf, right? So you wouldn't be able to hear us.
I don't know. I don't think that would be very interesting to watch. It'd just be kind of stocky and weird. Because you don't get the experience from everyone else.
What do you mean? You'd be able to hear me fucking wheezing in the background.
Well,
I
yeah,
just
they
rolled a nat
hear
20
you,
to
but
fucking
they don't see what
triple
you're doing.
backflip and do something stupid.
Yeah. I don't know.
What do you
I don't think it'd be a good idea. In the meantime, I'll just play TF2 and add other games. Speaking of, two games that were announced recently, I'll mention these. Both in the same month, two rather popular indie developers announced sequels to their highly acclaimed indie games. And you have to wonder if there's some sort of conspiracy going on. But the games in question are Hollow Knight, whatever the fuck subtitle they came up with, I didn't check. Because I'm so good at my job. And the one I actually care about, Darkest Dungeon 2!
Oh damn, that's a thing.
Yes, and I'm excited as tits.
That's pretty solid.
Because guess what? They still have Wayne June as a narrator, so that means old grandpa's up to some fucky stuff, but this time under a mountain. It's gonna be
See?
great. I'm getting some serious Mountains of Madness vibes, which is fitting given the whole Lovecraft thing the game's been doing. But I am so excited. I cannot wait. I wish they had given a... Actually, I'm kind of glad they didn't put a date up with the reveal trailer, or else I'd be shitting my pants constantly until it came out. Hollow Knight Silk Song. Thank you, Red. I've been meaning to play that game, Hollow Knight. I've heard some good stuff. Have you played it? Joey.
Hmm?
Have you played Hollow Knight?
I'm not. I've seen gameplay of it though,
Well,
and it looks like I don't know what to call it. From what I remember, it was like a combination of Shovel Knight and Celeste. It had a lot of interesting mechanics that I remember.
so it's a platformer then.
I believe it is.
I
But
shall.
it was really cool about what it did,
I shall look into it.
if I remember correctly. Because it actually had a really good story if you pay attention.
Oh,
But
I'll
that
look
means
into
you have to read the dialogue. I don't think it has any kind of voiceover.
That's fine. I mean, like, what was it? Breath of the Wild was the first Legend of Zelda game to have voice acting, besides just
Well, yeah.
whatever.
I like the grunts for your animation. That shit was hilarious, you know? You fucking talk to Beetle. Oh! That was like the fucking pinnacle
Just-
of childhood gaming.
Just
Like, are
walk
you-
up to some guy and be like, "Rah!" It's like, ah,
Exactly. It
fuck's
was the
wrong with
greatest
you?
ever. There'd be fucking like sailors like jerking their arm or something. Some fucking
Brrr.
retarded.
Yeah.
No, he'd be like, he'd be like, oh, just like fucking autistic noise. It's actually so good.
it's the kingdom of fucking gremlins.
It is. It was so great. Holy shit.
I haven't heard any of the voice acting.
Wind
from-
Waker did it best.
Pretty well.
Oh my god, I did not. Personally, I did not like Breath of the Wild's voice act.
Did you like the game though?
Game was pretty good up until I beat the fucking game like 8 different times with 8 different sets of rules.
Well, that's how RPGs go. Well, have you tried modding it?
No, because I don't think you can mod it on Wii U.
Well, there's only out on Wii U, isn't it?
No, it's on Switch. What?
Oh. I forgot. Sorry, I was thinking of the Switch.
I think there's also a PC emulator for it.
Probably.
But yeah, I've run
dropped
Breath of
my
the
pen.
Wild. Fuck, how
On
many-
your Wii U?
No, I've done it. No shields, naked, no armor,
Yeah.
including shield. So naked and no shield, right?
Right.
And then after that, I did no hearts. So I went to all the fucking stupid shrines or whatever. I didn't get a single point in health. That one was probably the most difficult because you get one shot by everything at a certain point in the game.
Yeah.
So everything you don't block or you don't parry, like, perfectly fucking eats your ass. Then the next one was no stamina, which was actually impossible. Holy shit, that one gives me PTSD because there are some places you can't actually get to without stamina upgrades.
Right.
What was another one I did?
What was another one
Fuck.
you did?
I went at Ganon without killing any of the fucking.
So you just went
whatever's-
straight for his castle.
No, I had to grind up for gear first because you won't be able to kill him if all your weapons break.
Fair enough.
Or I guess you could do it with the fucking with the bombs, but that would take a fucking millennia.
Just beat him up with
Holy
your bare
shit.
hands, man. Kill him like a man.
I wish Link could do that. That would be so good. But Link's a fucking.
You can't go in
Dinky.
bare knuckle brawling.
He's a dinky baby. He can't bare knuckle brawl. He needs a stick.
He is not a dinky baby. He's a Twinkie baby.
Okay, you're right.
Get it?
Point
Because-
still stands. He can't
Because of the
fucking-
gays.
He can't fucking slap any. No, he doesn't do any hand-to-hand combat.
Well, yeah,
He
he is
needs-
very, very scrawny.
It's lanky.
He's got muscle, but not much like, you know, not much supporting muscle. Good swordsman, shitty brawler.
Correct. But yeah, you actually have to go through a couple of areas to get decent like weapons that'll withstand hits long enough to actually kill Ganon.
Right.
So that was probably one of the biggest struggles because like the zero health one, everything in the castle one-shots you.
Well, don't get hit.
Whew, if only it were that easy because you actually have to kill.
You have to kill a mini boss in order to get a shield that doesn't break instantaneously. Right? So that's the first goal. So first you have to get to the castle, and you gotta get into like the jail of the castle to get a certain shield. And once you get that shield, it's pretty much game over. So basically the whole struggle is getting to the shield, and once you get the shield, the run's done. That's it. You win.
So it's like getting your first 100% block shield in Dark Souls.
Pretty much, yeah.
Speaking of, I have completed every single Dark Souls game in the main series. I haven't played Demon Souls or Bloodborne because I don't own a PlayStation because I'm not a faggot. Without a shield.
Damn.
Dark Souls 2 was fuck easy, mainly because the very interesting dual wielding mechanic they had in that game was just so much fun. But once I figured out everything's attack pattern, it was just too easy to not use it. Shield. It was a very easy game. It wasn't easy. Like
the
first time
easiest.
playing through. Yeah, first time playing through, it'll stomp you and make you cry and piss your pants and shit and cum. But it will. It is the easiest of the Dark Souls.
For sure.
I think in order of difficulty, from hardest to easiest, is 1, 3, then 2. Mostly because
yeah,
Dark Souls 1 wasn't a very polished game.
No, it wasn't. There were so many bugs with it.
Oh,
Holy
yeah.
fuck. Just they jump over you, but the hitbox still says they hit you. It was so
yeah.
dumb. The fucking in like the first area too. Those fucking zombies, they'd do like a jump strike down the stairs. They'd hop over you. They'd land behind you, but it'd still count as a hit. And you get knocked on your face, and there wasn't any ground for you to land on, so you just fall off the fucking cliff. It was so dumb. I died so many times that way.
Yeah, those guys are bastards. And my thing is that Dark Souls 3 and 2 both give you a much better sense of direction. Because
Oh,
Dark
yeah,
Souls
definitely.
3, at least for the first area, felt very linear.
Yes.
In the whole castle.
Mhm.
Or the wall, I should say. And after that, it kind of opened up. But since you had that sense of direction, like go this way, and it definitely helped you out more. It was a lot better off than Dark Souls 1. Because, you know what my first experience with Dark Souls 1 was? Got to
What?
Firelink Shrine, looked around the shrine, saw a graveyard, and thought, hey, I'll go this way. And got annihilated by skeletons. I was ready to give up on the game. I did, actually. Until I talked to my buddy Connor, who I mentioned before, and is the guy who kept screaming on about, oh, Dark Souls is so good. Oh, it's such a good game. Which is why I downloaded it when it was free for Xbox in the first
My
place.
older brother fucking first experience with Dark Souls.
Fuck.
Older brother, like, hey, go down this area, and fucking I didn't know it at the time. It's fucking railroading me to Blight Town.
Fucking
Just like straight up, just straight right out the gate, just go to Blight Town.
what a dick.
I'm like, alright, okay, I don't know what the fuck that means. Here I go, and I just fucking.
I
get
need to find an
annihilated.
emulator for the original Dark Souls 1, not the remastered bullshit.
I couldn't fucking move, dude. It was so bad. So
But,
bad, I couldn't leave. I was just dying.
So, what happened was, I went to my buddy Connor, I was like, dude, this game's fucking awful, I can't find out where to go, and he was like, dude, did you go up the mountain path? I'm like, what fucking mountain path? So he showed me the path towards the Taurus Demon fight, which, I gotta say, in hindsight, was not signposted well at all.
Mm-mm.
I overlooked it easily, because I didn't even notice it. It looked like it was part of the mountain. I didn't think there was a path there at all. So obviously, I looked around and ended up going for the graveyard, and I got stomped. And I know what you'll say. I'll say like, "Oh, it's so easy noob trap. You fell for the noob trap. Got noob. Get him. Get him. He's trying to escape. Get him." But in terms of game design, it's not very well designed. You want to at least give the player an idea of the landscape and what areas are available to him. Like in Skyrim, you don't want to just go rushing off to the top of a mountain to fight a dragon. But it lets you know where you can go, and it says you can go fucking anywhere. But the quest markers are pointing you so-and-so direction. Dark Souls doesn't have quest markers, so it just lets you explore the environment. But I didn't know I could explore that part of the environment because I couldn't see the fucking path. It was AIDS. I didn't like it. But once I got past that, I do genuinely enjoy the game. It is a great fucking game. And more games out there should test your skill and be genuinely challenging like Dark Souls. Because see, now that I've beaten it, it's chump change for me, man. I could go through, make a dex build, and beat the game, alright? I'm that good. But when I first played through, it really honed my skills and my reactions and my ability to read. Not books, but read enemies and animations.
Yeah. I know what you.
And it's great. It helps you out. It also tested my reaction speed, which was good.
I fucking played it without my older brother and got to like Horus Demon doing about it. That little room with the dog demon in the same place. I just couldn't keep up with him, so I just kept dying.
Little room with a dog demon. Let's see if I
No,
know
the
that.
dog and the Taurus demon, Dark Souls 1. That was the part where I fucking rage quit.
Oh
and never
no,
touched
that's the
game again.
Capra demon.
Oh, is it Capra?
The
Oh,
boss
Taurus
that's-
demon is the bridge one.
Yeah,
Okay.
Taurus demon is the one
Got it.
that you do the plunging attack on. Capra demon
Oops.
is the goat guy with the 2 swords and the 2 dogs. Yeah, fuck the Capra demon.
fucking
That was
so bad.
bullshit.
It's like that's not even a skill room. That's a
No, it's just fuck
whether
you.
or not the fucking dogs would like instantly run to eat your ass, you know, while
Yeah,
you dealt with the boss.
Let me tell you everyone's first experience with the Capra demon. Walk through fog door, dog runs up, stuns you while you're trying to run away,
Bites your
and
dick,
then the Capra demon just slams you into the dirt and you die.
slaps your ass.
And that's after fighting through that horrible alleyway full of dogs and ninjas.
Oh yeah.
So you're trained to just beat. Like, you see a dog, you get triggered, and then you look at the Capra demon, you're like, "What the fuck are you?" And then he kills you. That was AIDS. No one liked the Capra demon.
Oh yeah.
And let me tell you, when I got to Lost Izalith, and I saw the horde of Taurus demons out on the other side of the lake, no, I never picked up the item behind them. To this day, I don't know what it is, just because I was not having any of that bullshit.
It was probably just one humanity too.
Probably. God. Speaking of humanity, I remember in Dark Souls 2, collecting human effigies was really fucking hard. Because at least for me, because I always tried to remain human. I never went hollow. Like, every time I died, I would just immediately pop an effigy. So I ran out very quickly. And it got to the point where I had to conserve them very, very carefully. Until the update where they made it so when you kill someone, like kill an invader, or invade someone else and kill them, you get a human effigy. After that, I couldn't get rid of the damn things. I was swimming in them. So that took out a shit ton of challenge. There was no reason to be hollow.
Yeah.
Then Dark Souls 3, and I like Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3 is I'd say Dark Souls 3 is my favorite.
Dark Souls 3 was super lore heavy compared to the other ones.
Oh yeah. Well, the problem with Dark Souls 2 is that it tried to Dark Souls 1 was essentially Berserk the game. Let's be honest. Everything
luck,
in Dark
retard.
Souls,
Get going.
everything in Dark Souls was based off of Berserk in some way, shape, or form. Dark Souls 2 had the unenviable task of trying to establish its own lore, not
Oh.
straight out of Berserk. Granted, there was a lot of stuff still from Berserk, but there was
Did you ever
unique
watch
stuff.
Berserk? Did you ever start watching it?
Which one?
Probably the newer one now because
There's
better
like
quality,
20
but it should be
adaptations.
no, the most modern anime version Berserk is gonna.
I thought people said that one was
What's
pretty
this-
shithouse.
Was it?
I don't know. That's what I've heard. I don't know if it is. I haven't seen it.
I don't fucking know. I just look at it as, oh, it's probably gonna be the best looking version of Berserk at the moment.
Well, I don't care how it looks, just how.
How the
good
fuck
it
do
is.
they adapt it differently every time?
I don't think it was done differently. I think it was just done again.
Yeah.
with different art styles and all that. Like, I do know there's one that was heavily reliant on CGI, and a lot of people hate that.
Ew. I don't think they like CGI because it doesn't look very
Yeah,
animated.
it doesn't
It's
mesh very
cheap.
well. Well, ironic you say that because it can be very expensive to model in 3D. But it's less time consuming than animating it by hand.
That's true.
But, what was I gonna say? Right, Dark Souls 2 had the unenviable task of establishing itself, lore-wise. That
Wait,
combined...
what's our timestamp here?
an hour and 55 minutes, so let's wrap this Dark Souls shit up. Dark Souls 2 had to try and establish Dark Souls lore as its own thing, which I think is why people didn't like the story so much. I mean, I like the DLC stuff, that was great, but the base game is kind of meh. But when they came out with Scholar of the First Sin and established some more of the stuff, that was really good. I like that. Then Dark Souls 3 came back and just had just polished all of that, made the two mesh, and that's why it was very lore heavy, but less so like you had to pick up
It
all the
didn't drown
pieces
you
and
in it.
learn it.
Yeah.
It was more like you just had to know it. And even if you didn't, you can still enjoy the game and take it at face value without knowing about the whole reincarnation and rebuilding of the world and the cycle of life of fire and darkness and all that.
Oh yeah.
Which I still think is very well done story, and I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Dude, Yorn the Giant. Fucking rip Yorn.
Poor
Really cool
Yorn.
character.
I do like how they kept the stones throughout the whole series,
Oh yeah.
so we could still just thank you,
Thank you. Help me.
arm sword.
Fucking good, dude.
I love it.
Oh, they're great.
But it's so annoying when you get invaded by some fucking hovel monster freak who just run up and destroy you, and then he starts spam dropping arm sword, arm
wearing
sword.
the fucking he has to be
arm
wearing
sword,
that one
arm
mask, that one
sword.
like dad mask or something. I forget
father
what it's called.
mask?
Yes. Yes.
No, my thing was they'd have the Xanthos crown, hovel gauntlets and leggings, no chest piece, dragon's tooth with like fire enchantment on it, and then they'd ninja flip up to me, backstab me while I'm bowing, then arm sword, arm sword, arm sword. Those guys were the worst. I hate them. If you were a hovel monster in Dark Souls 1, go fuck yourself. I hope you die in a pit, you stupid.